This is my video journal. It's never intended to be advice or guidance. I'm just expressing what I'm thinking and feeling in the present moment. And lately, it's been a little bit more difficult to truly show up and share an authentic flow of consciousness in the present moment because I've got some quite complex people that I'm working with, and it's like the kind of stuff where if I told you what I did on one day of this week, you'd probably need therapy for a year just from hearing it secondhand. And this is the kind of stuff where I've got a clinical psychologist on the team. I don't know if he's clinical, but he's a good psychologist. He's not like one of those clipboard people. I can't even really share that much information, but I've got a team of people around me who, I've got people to debrief with and everything, but like the way that we're trained is like, don't bring this home to your friends and family because you could actually hurt them, traumatize them, because they're not trained to deal with the kinds of issues that we're looking at every day. So I got like really the cases that I'm taking on are growing in complexity, to the point where one of the new cases that has recently emerged, when I was receiving it from the company that was letting it go, I was told this will be the most complex case that you ever have in your life. So a lot of stuff going on, and it feels even weird and to share that much information, even though it's totally de-identified. No specifics. It still feels like I should have boundaries around that even. So not only is it emotionally, I don't have as much space within myself to share in this way. Like I still have space within myself. I'm doing all my self-care. I feel great, but like to be able to jump on camera and give an honest recount of like what I'm thinking and feeling in the present moment while being mindful of like basically this whole week, like just keep that to yourself. Like it's so emotionally I'm restricted in time, like just even from that kind of work that I'm doing, my time is a bit more restricted because I need more time just to like do things that are good for me. And journaling used to be good for me. It still is good for me, but it's not good for this particular stage of the journey because it's actually more emotionally draining for me to try to hold all of this stuff and share anything really. Like it's easier for me to just like use the different things that I have available to me to process all of this stuff. And then I still have like holographic kinetics as well, so if there's anything that happens at work or with people that I'm supporting that affects me, like I can go find out like why I'm reacting, and I can deal with my own issues as everything's surfacing within me as well. So it's positive, everything's okay, don't worry. But yeah, I know the journals have been drying up. The frequency's slowed down a lot, and I just wanted to give a little bit of an indication about that. I've also, in this last week, recorded, edited and published another video on my main channel. The main channel's only just coming back now, so there's like a lot of new things being established, a lot of old things are growing in complexity, and I'm happy about it. Like this is what I wanted to create. Like I wanted to find out all this stuff. I'm learning so much about the NDIS, which is like our government's support program for people with disabilities and mental health issues, and I'm learning how many private companies are exploiting the system. Like I'm learning what we're up against if we actually want to make changes. And I know I just published a video about like like don't go into this system to try to make changes, create something outside of it. So for me, I've started filling my new container with my own kind of energy, and like creating this new approach over here, but I'm still like in the system, observing, learning, growing, because I can't just like go out and start a company tomorrow, like to change everybody's lives, and then like the first case that comes through is so complex, and like I don't have any experience, and like I've never dealt with all of the paperwork and everything. Like it's a process. I need to learn about what's established and what's going on. It's like there's so many quotes about that along these lines. Like you need to learn the rules before you can break them, is like the one that's coming to my mind. So I'm learning all the rules. I'm learning how the game works, and then, you know, we can. And also, I feel like it's so frustrating in a way. Okay, I accept it, but the fact that, you know, none of these professionals will take you seriously until you learn their profession. Like, so many people I know have gone and studied psychology just so that they can say, okay, I've studied psychology now, so I know your field of expertise. I still think there's better approaches over here and here. But yeah, you need that. You need to actually go and understand what's not working, why it's not working, so that you can generate like a pitch for change that is valid in the eyes of all of these people that are going to try to block you and get in your way. And as I said that, I was like, don't worry about all the people that are going to block you and get in your way. Just get creating. Like, I think that's valid too. But at the level of complexity that I'm looking at, there's going to be a lot of blocking. There's going to be a lot of people saying like, you know, are you really qualified? Do you really understand the complexity of these issues? Do you understand what's going on here? So I need to actually be able to show like, look, I've walked all these different journeys, and I've studied all these different things. I have so much lived experience in the space. I've seen things that like have prepared me for what's ahead. And that's where I'm at now. But constantly questioning, like, if, like, I've always got that feeling like I need to be doing something outside of this like mainstream space, and I am doing things outside of it, but it's like the mainstream side of things is like 90%, and the outside stuff is like 10% at the moment. And my plan was always like, when I got into mainstream mental health fully, when I was like, okay, I'm going in, I was like, I'm going to do this for a little while, and I'm going to learn heaps, and I'm going to use that knowledge and experience to help me be a better human being and understand the human condition a little bit more, understand what people have already been through. Now I can see like, okay, if somebody's like gone into the mental health system, these are the kinds of experiences that they can expect to have, so I can empathize with somebody when they do come to me after they've been through all the mental health system stuff, and then they're like, they want to try something different. I can be like, yeah, I know, I've seen it, I know what you've been through, kind of thing. Or you're never going to know, because everybody's experience is going to be unique, but I know the systems that are in place, and I'll even know like the lingo and the jargon and the acronyms. So it's just like, I'm getting out there, I'm getting amongst it, and I'm getting the experience so that I get a clearer picture of reality, and like a clearer picture of life and society, what people are engaging with and responding to. Valuable stuff. These guys, they want food. They always want food. And unfortunately, I just dashed out the door this morning, guys. Yeah, I know you're disappointed. Yeah, all of that's all happening. And yeah, getting back into video. I'm actually going to a little independent film festival tonight at Coolangatta. It's like an outdoor beach cinema, like the most beautiful experience. I've been to this little pop-up beach cinema before for different things. I actually watched a movie called Mother there, which was very confronting, and I had no idea what I was going into. And yeah, gonna go there. going on a little bit of a date to it as well, with a beautiful woman who also has a history of film and photography, and like similar journeys, exploring, not really accepting all of the, you know, narratives that we're programmed with. So yeah, been enjoying myself a lot. I've been like, I had a team meeting yesterday, and my manager's having a chat with me, and I just said, you know what, I'm pretty happy. And you know, after the week that we all just had, he's kind of like, oh, okay. And his question was, how long do you think you could continue in this role? And I said, indefinitely. Like, if like there's no reason why it's gonna stop, kind of thing. But I also thought that was an interesting question. Like, it kind of had like a feeling of expectation attached to it. Like, how long can I put you through this before you're gonna burn out? Which is unfortunate that that's like where we're at. There's not enough people around that have the capacity to be present with the really complex stuff that people need support with. And that comes back to like my message in my most recent video again, like the big one for my main channel. Like, it starts in here. We got to deal with what's going on inside of ourselves first, because until we are able to be present with our own stuff and, you know, be okay, we can't be much help to people that need more support than we do. But it's also interesting, it keeps coming up I keep thinking about this, like, the more I make peace with everything, and the more I work through everything, and I feel okay, and not reacting, it's like I see deeper and deeper pain outside. Like, I'm just ending up in these situations where, like, okay, so now I'm comfortable with all of these kinds of traumas. I can sit with them and I can be present, and I'm okay. Even like, I can bring joy to that. I can bring like relief in that just by being present. I'll bring food next time. I probably won't. I shouldn't lie. No, I will. I'll make a commitment to bring food. Yeah, it just, as soon as I get used to one thing, then something more with higher impact comes along, and then but I guess eventually I'm going to be able to sit with absolutely anything. Like, there's got to be a limit to the amount of trauma that a human being can experience or be holding. And I think I'm definitely up there in the higher amounts, like the higher volumes of trauma. And to be able to sit with it is pretty cool, really. And I said, like, there's not enough people that can be present with the issues that people are facing, but at the same time, like, I wouldn't really ask anyone to do it either. Like, if, I don't know, I think I was sort of born with a temperament or something, like born with some kind of ability to be able to process stuff or sit with stuff or just be calm or something. Like, I don't know if everybody could just like move through this kind of stuff, but that sounds ego. Like, of course we could. Of course we can all heal and clear all of our trauma, and, you know, we can do it. We can be a space for each other. But then, you know what, the picture that comes through is, if we all did heal ourselves so much, then there wouldn't be this complex trauma surrounding us everywhere, and it wouldn't require any of us to particularly hold like these high volumes of complexity. Like, we could, if everybody was all healing themselves and we all got to a point where, you know, trauma wasn't so amplified and magnified in one particular individual or one particular community, then yeah, we could just chill. We could all finally just relax. Wouldn't that be something? But yeah, I kind of have this like internal goal that like I want to be able to relax and be present and laugh and play, like tonight going to this film festival, even with the most complex traumatic things all around me, like. And there's been a few times, this is interesting, like where I've felt like kind of people would think that I'm more insane than ever before if they were aware of like what I've been present with, and then like how happy I am and how much joy and love is in my life. It would just seem like something's wrong with me. Like, what is wrong with you, Kai? How can you go from, you know, doing that all week to going and like having the most beautiful weekend? Like, oh, and I will be working this weekend as well. I've just got like a little window of time in between. But that's, again, you know, there's definitely an awareness here that I have to watch this gap between myself and like my family and friends and stuff, because like that, what I just expressed then, like I might come across as quite crazy if somebody found out like the extremes of joy and love, bliss and happiness, and like the other end of the spectrum that I'm experiencing day to day on a weekly basis. Like, might seem a little bit crazy. But I'll stay on top of it. And like, definitely, like, this is why I can't just like come and journal it, because then we're gonna have a bunch of people that are coming to this YouTube channel for all the wrong reasons. They'll be coming to analyze this stuff and like look at it and be like, you know, have their opinion, or yeah, like study it, or I don't know, like just get really weird about it. It's already weird enough, you know, sharing so transparently like what's going on in your internal world. And I've probably thought 100 times at least that I probably shouldn't do it. Like, I should just keep it to myself. But there's still people that are having those really important moments connecting with themselves because they're seeing me connecting with myself. So I'm going to continue, at least for now. I also see a time in the future, like I'm on these waves, and at the moment, like I'm coming up to the peak of one of these waves where my time is really restricted, my emotions are really restricted, and there's lots going on, and I'm going, like creating content, going around meeting more people, starting a new relationship, getting back into film photography, going to film festivals. Like, I'm going, and then I'll come back into, like, the wave will come down and I'll relax. And part of that will be like as I make peace with all of the new complexities that are coming in, and part of it will be at the moment that like my time is restricted because it's like all hands on deck kind of emergency situation, doing extra hours and things. So there will be a relaxing phase, and then when the relaxing phase comes, like I'll be able to relax into the journals as well and share a little bit more. And I'm pretty excited to do that. I'm pretty excited, especially for all of the joy and love and like magic again. Like, that's coming. I've been really inspired looking at different kinds of content lately. I keep thinking about Kai Lives 3, like my cinematic journal channel, where it's like, just we don't say anything, we just show like what's going on and try to tell a story with just like the visuals and the music. I just want to, and yeah, I'm just so keen to balance this. For every bit of darkness that comes into my life, I'm going to create more light. Like, it's going to be awesome. If you get anything out of these videos, please make yourself a ham sandwich. Click the like button for me, leave your comments down below, subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll be back when I can.